Valentine's Day Wahala, aka the players' karma. What if the biggest players in town got played on the one day love is supposed to win? Valentine's Day was supposed to be a day for love, but for 4 Port Harcourt hustlers, it was a day of strategy. James, Tega, Bella, and Amaka were certified players, each juggling multiple relationships while pretending to be loyal lovers. Let's go. Hit that subscription button for your girl as we proceed. They thought they had mastered the art of deception, but this February 14th, their game would turn into a nightmare. Meet the players and their Valentine's Day strategy. James, a smooth-talking fine boy, was playing 3 women at once. His main girl, Linda, expected a romantic dinner. His sugar mommy, Madam Becky, had booked a 5-star hotel suite. And Cynthia, his campus babe, thought they were spending the whole afternoon together. His plan? Lunch with Cynthia, dinner with Linda, and a passionate night with Becky. Tega, James' best friend and fellow player, was just as reckless. His new girl, Chichi, wanted the full Valentine's experience, while his old flame, Ebere, had just returned from Abuja and expected a romantic evening. Tega told both women he had worked all day, planning to squeeze in quick lunch with Chichi, a candlelight dinner with Ebere, and then hit the club for fresh prey. Bella, a certified slay queen, had her own game running. She had a rich married man, Chief Edwin, who spoiled her with gifts, and a young lover, Kelvin, who treated her like a queen. She planned to collect her Valentine's gifts from Chief in the afternoon, then spend the evening in Kelvin's arms. Amaka, Bella's bestie, was also playing with fire. Her boyfriend, Amaka, thought she was busy with a church event while she had a dinner date with her secret lover, Tony, a wealthy banker. She believed she had covered her tracks well, but unknown to her, someone was already watching. James and Tega met up that morning to finalize their plans. "Guy, no shaking," James said, checking his phone. "By the time Linda dey sleep, I don enter suit with Becky." Tega laughed, shaking his head. "Omo, na cruise we dey o. No girl fit catch me." But they had no idea that their girls were already plotting their downfall. Linda, James's main babe, had been suspecting him. She and Cynthia had secretly teamed up. They agreed to play along with his plans, then meet up at his final location for a grand showdown. Chichi, Tega's new girl, had also sensed something was off. She had a cousin working at the same hotel Tega had booked, and she asked her to keep an eye on him. Tega had no idea he was being monitored. By 12 p.m., James was at a fancy restaurant whispering sweet nonsense to Cynthia. "Baby, you know say na only you fit make my heart beat like this," he said, winking. Cynthia giggled, playing along, but she was already texting Linda. "He's here. Plans still dey?" Linda replied, "Yes, let's finish him." At the same time, Tega was having lunch with Chichi, acting like the perfect boyfriend. "Baby, now you be my Valentine every day," he said, squeezing her hand. Chichi smiled, but in her mind, she was waiting for her cousin's updates. By 7 p.m., James was at an expensive restaurant with Linda, unaware that Cynthia was tracking his location. He was feeding Linda wine, feeling like a king when his phone buzzed. Madam Becky had arrived at their hotel suite. "Baby, I need to step out for a quick business call," he lied, kissing Linda's forehead I'll be back." Linda smiled. "No wahala, baby." But the real wahala was loading. Tega, on the other hand, had just picked up Ebere for dinner. He had told Chichi he was working late and turned off his phone. He felt untouchable until his cousin-in-law at the hotel sent Chichi a text. He just checked in with another baby. By 9 p.m, disaster struck. As James entered his hotel suite, expecting a warm welcome from Madam Becky, he was met with a different sight. Linda and Cynthia were already inside waiting. Madam Becky stood frozen, confused. "Baby, what's happening?" Linda asked sweetly. "I thought you were on a business call." James' mouth went dry. At the same time, Chichi stormed into the hotel with her cousin, just as Tega and Ebere were about to enter their room. "Oh, so this is the work you were doing," Chichi screamed. Guests turned to watch. Ebere, confused, asked, "Tega, who is this?" But before anyone could say Jack, Chichi had landed him a hot slap. Back at James's hotel, things got even worse. Madam Becky, realizing that she had been played, poured red wine on James's shirt. "Useless boy, I paid for this room and you wanted to use it for another woman?" She picked up a throw pillow and started hitting him with it. Linda and Cynthia, now laughing, pulled out their phones and started recording. "Happy Valentine's Day, player." Tega tried to escape, but Chichi blocked his way. "You think you can use me and dump me?" she shouted. "You don't buy market today." Ebere, realizing she wasn't only the girl he had, turned and slapped Tega too. "You dey mad? I left Abuja for this nonsense." Tega was sweating. This was not how he planned his Valentine night. By the time James and Tega made it out of their separate hotels, their reputation was finished. Videos of their disgrace were already circulating on social media. Their street credibility gone. Their relationships dead. Valentine's Day, which was supposed to be their biggest win, had become their greatest downfall. But they weren't the only ones. Bella and Amaka's own drama was just about to begin. As James and Tega licked their wounds from their Valentine's Day disgrace, Bella and Amaka were about to face their own downfall. Unlike the guys, these two believed they had perfected the game of deception, but Port Harcourt had plans for them. Bella was the definition of a big girl. Chief Edwin, a married sugar daddy, took care of her bills, while Kelvin, a young lover, gave her attention and romance. Her plan was simple: collect expensive gifts from Chief Edwin in the afternoon, then spend a romantic evening with Kelvin in the night. While she didn't bother much about her other two unserious side boyfriends, she had covered her tracks well, or so she thought. Amaka, Bella's best friend, had her own Valentine's games mapped out. She had told Amaka, a serious boyfriend, that she was attending a women's fellowship all night. Her plan was to have a luxurious dinner date with Tony, a wealthy banker. She was confident in her plans, unaware that karma was warming up. At 12 p.m, Bella met Chief Edwin at a high-end hotel lounge. He handed her a designer's bag and a gold necklace. "You deserve this, my queen," he whispered. Bella, blushing, kissed his cheek and promised to see him later. But Chief Edwin's wife had been watching from the corner, her private investigators recording everything. Meanwhile, Amaka arrived at the most expensive restaurant in town, dressed to kill. Tony, a rich side guy, had reserved a VIP table with red roses and champagne. "Baby, you look breathtaking," he said. Amaka giggled, already picturing the expensive gifts he had for her. But unknown to her, Tony's wife had hacked his location and was on her way with backup. By 7 p.m, Bella switched to phase 2 of her plan. She gave Chief Edwin a fake excuse. "My period just started. I'm not feeling well and won't be able to stay longer." Then hurried to meet Kelvin for their romantic dinner. Kelvin had planned a surprise. He blindfolded her and led her into a beautifully decorated private suite. Bella smiled, thinking she had won the game. But at the same time, Edwin's wife was making a move. Armed with evidence from the private investigator, she stormed the lounge where her husband was having a nice time with Bella to see for herself. After Bella left, she trailed her. Kelvin's own surprise for Bella was not what she expected. As he removed the blindfold, she gasped. Standing in the room were 2 of her other boyfriends, smiling at her. "Surprise!" Kelvin said, arms crossed. "Since you love playing games, I decided to invite the whole squad." Bella's heart dropped. Meanwhile, Amaka's Valentine's dinner turned into an action movie. Just as she and Tony were enjoying dessert, a woman's voice cut through the romantic atmosphere. "Tony, so this is your fellowship meeting." It was his wife, flanked by 2 of her friends. Bella tried to act innocent, but Kelvin wasn't buying it. "Bella, meet Kingsley and Daniel, your other one and only lovers." Bella stammered. "Baby, it's not what it looks like." But Kelvin pulled out his phone and played a voice recording. "I love you, baby, only you." Bella's voice echoed from different conversations with each of them. Tony, on the other hand, was sweating. She picked up a bottle of wine and poured it over his head and on Amaka. "Useless people," she screamed. The restaurant was in chaos as waiters rushed to calm the scene. Amaka was frozen, realizing her rich fantasy was crashing before her eyes. Back at Kelvin's surprise party, the real drama began when Chief Edwin's wife stormed in with 2 hefty men in black suits to deal with her. They had already started hitting her when Kelvin and his friends decided to intervene, begging them not to implicate him because he invited her to his hotel suite. Mrs. Edwin turned to Bella. "I have your full name and address," giving a stern warning to stay clear, else she will be made paralyzed on their next meeting and nothing would happen. Kelvin turned to her and said, "Bella, since you like playing people, it's time for payback." He picked up his phone and sent out a mass message. "Dear all Bella's lovers, today is our official breakup. She belongs to the streets." Within minutes, her phone exploded with messages. As Amaka tried to leave the restaurant quietly, Tony's wife grabbed her wig and yanked it off. "You think you can steal my husband and walk away? Oya, bald head, go home." The restaurant erupted in laughter as Amaka ran out, covering her head in shame. By midnight, Bella and Amaka sat in their apartment, both speechless. Their carefully built double lives had crashed in one night. Their phones were flooded with insults, memes, and breakup messages. The city knew their names, their reputations ruined. Valentine's Day, meant to be their biggest win, had become their worst nightmare. The morning after Valentine's Day felt like a funeral for James, Tega, Bella, and Amaka. Their once flawless games had crashed and social media was still buzzing with their disgrace. From WhatsApp groups to Instagram, blogs, their faces and stories were everywhere. James refused to leave his apartment. His video, where Madam Becky was chasing him with a throw pillow, had gone viral. "Guy, you don't turn meme," Tega told him over the phone. "Even Twitter people dey use your picture. Say Odugu don't fall," James groaned. His sugar mommy had blocked him. Cynthia and Linda had unfollowed him, and even his barber had stopped picking his calls. Tega wasn't any better. His slap video was now on TikTok, with people adding background music to the moment where Chichi palms landed on his face. "Ha, I don't suffer," he muttered, scrolling through the comments. Ebere had deleted all their pictures together and updated her status. "I almost married an idiot. Thank God for Valentine's Day revelation." Meanwhile, Bella was facing her own public disgrace. Kelvin's breakup text had spread, and now every guy in her DMs was treating her like a joke. "So now you be the Port Harcourt community property," one text read. Even Bolt drivers were cancelling her rides after recognizing her name. Amaka, on the other hand, had become a viral sensation for the wrong reasons. Someone at the restaurant had posted the video of her wig getting yanked off with the caption, "Wahala for who no get original hair." She deactivated all her social media accounts and refused to step out. But their problems didn't end there. James and Tega tried to step out later that evening, hoping people had forgotten. They were wrong. At a popular lounge, a waiter busted into laughter as soon as he saw James. "Oga, now you them they beat for hotel that day?" A nearby customer pulled out his phone, showing James' viral video. James turned and left immediately. Tega thought he could escape his disgrace by visiting a different club. Or more, bad idea. Just as he was ordering a drink, the DJ switched the music to a slow-down remix of his slap video. The entire club erupted in laughter. "Wetin be this?" Tega muttered, running out in embarrassment. Bella and Amaka also faced their share of humiliation. When Bella tried to visit a luxury hair shop, the owner said, "Auntie, na sugar daddy money you wan use buy this hair?" People laughed and Bella ran out, feeling like the ground should swallow her. Amaka's own call. Amaka's office wasn't any better. Her colleagues had seen the video, and as soon as she walked in, someone whispered, "Omo, na she o, the wigless warrior." Even her boss gave her side eye. She called in sick the next day. Realizing that their city had turned against them, the four players had a secret meeting in James's apartment. "We need to fix our reputations," Bella said while looking at Amaka. "This embarrassment cannot continue." James sighed. "How? Even people wey no sabi us for real life don dey use us for meme." Tega suggested they lay low for a while. "We go just day off social media, change our usual spots and rebrand small." Amaka nodded. "And maybe we should stop playing people. This thing don show say Kama no dey joke." Bella scoffed at first. "So we should become saints?" But deep down, she knew she was tired. Tired of lying, tired of dating, and tired of always covering her tracks. Maybe it was time to do things differently. James too had a wake-up call. Seeing how quickly he had lost everything made him realize that being a player wasn't worth it. "I don't learn my lesson, no," he admitted. "I just pray, make Madam Becky no send boys come my house." As days passed, the humiliation died down, but the lesson remained. They had all played the game recklessly, thinking they were untouchable, but in the end, Valentine's Day had exposed them all. James and Tega decided to take a break from dating. For the first time in years, they focused on their careers instead of chasing women. Bella and Amaka also changed their ways. Bella cut off her sugar daddy connections, and Amaka started being honest in her relationships. The biggest lessons they learned: no matter how smart you think you are, lies will always catch up with you. Karma may take time, but when it comes, it doesn't miss. And so, the City players of Port Harcourt finally retired. Their Valentine's Day Wahala had given them a taste of their own medicine, proving once and for all that love games don't end in victory. They end in disaster. Moral of the story: if you play with people's hearts, be ready for the day the game will play you.